Mic check, mic check. It's your boy, Dr. Industry, here operating on these celebrities and their clout chasers. We're going to give the diagnosis and then the prognosis. That's how we're going to do it here going forward on Dr. Industry. It's time to, operate a little bit on this industry because it needs it bad. It needs it bad. I am Dr. Industry. Welcome to the first edition of Dr. Industry. Let's get our first prognosis, man. First person we got to talk about is Orlando Brown. So, if you don't know, Orlando Brown is a former Disney celebrity. He was on the Disney Channel. There's a show that he was on with Zendaya. I don't remember the name of the show. He may have actually been on another show as well. But he's been making his news over the last few years by basically coming on, saying these outlandish things, making these claims against different celebrities. Most of the time, they were like gay claims, homosexual claims, or what have you. Now, recently, as we all know, Katt Williams has been in the news. Usher's been in the news, right? And we've heard claims from this young man in the past. Claims about Will Smith, claims about Nick Cannon, claims about Michael Jackson. He's made claims about people, especially once Will got in the news. Whenever someone seems to be hot and a trending topic, he all of a sudden seems to have some sort of rendezvous with them. So let's go to his latest claims. This is his latest claims. He's talking to somebody. Now remember, this guy is a married guy. This man is married to a woman. Okay? So let's listen to him.
We made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker try to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And Katt Williams. What's his name?
Bro, you smashing a lot of people.
What's that nigga name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher.
What the fuck? Why you not having the hoes?
Now I'm going to stop it there. Perfect question. He asked him, why you not naming no hoes? That was my question too. Why does it seem like every person you name, it's always men, but yet and still you're married to a woman? The only woman that this dude has ever mentioned was Zendaya. I mean, not Zendaya. Raven. Right? The only woman that he's ever mentioned was Raven. Why hasn't he mentioned any other women?
I'm telling you, bro, it's my dad's friends. My dad sicked his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer.
I
Thought you knew.
did.
Okay.
You're Jesus.
Yeah. So my dad sick like every bad one on me, and I was like, whatever, whatever. But the babies matter now, and I'm like nigga, not my kids, cause y'all.
So this is what's got everybody talking. And of course, you know, people are addicted to drama. They're addicted to gossip. And they are, you know, they hate celebrities. They're subconscious. There's something about celebrities that hold a disdain for this new generation. Wherein before we were like, there were people that we looked up to and people that we aspired to be like, you know, as far as in front of the scenes, not behind the scenes. We never cared about what they were behind the scenes. We only talked about what they've accomplished. That's how it used to be. But now you got people like this guy, and the diagnosis is clout chasing 101. He's diagnosed with addiction to clout chasing. That's Dr. Industry's diagnosis. He's addicted to clout chasing. The prognosis for this guy is you have to limit his opportunities with a microphone in front of him. If you're not paying him any attention, he will eventually be cured of this clout chasing that he's addicted to. There's no way for anybody to talk to him. He's got a wife. Does he have children? I mean, I would hate to see that this dude has kids, but he probably has children. He's got a wife that sits there and pretty much lets him. Did you see when he went off on the guy in the restaurant? You know, about a couple of months ago, and the wife is sitting there just laughing, like, "Oh, come on, honey, let's go." You know, they didn't really do anything about it. To help him with this addiction to clout chasing, you have to take away his microphone. I know it's going to be hard to resist the clicks and the views, but he mentioned he slept with Katt Williams. Of course, he has to mention that because Katt Williams is hot right now. So he has to attach his name to people that's hot. Right? He won't name any women. My dad, Lucifer, sicked his baddest people on me. Not naming any, he won't name any women because he knows the women's are going to call him out. So, Orlando Brown, what needs to happen and what's going to happen if you don't help him with this addiction is that somebody's going to end up effing him up like they did before, allegedly. He allegedly almost got beat to death by one of those celebrities who is talking on him and who he's talking on. One of the celebrities sent goons and they almost deleted him. But we're not going to say who the celebrity is. I'm not going to snitch nobody out. But I guess he hadn't had enough. He didn't know that a celebrity sent them goons to beat him up. He didn't know that. So one of the celebrities he was talking on, I got good word, and one of the celebrities he was talking on sent goons to beat him up. And they beat him up. They almost killed him. Right? So he hasn't learned yet. But y'all help this dude with his clout chasing. That's the prognosis for him. If you don't help him with the clout chasing, this guy may end up not being with us. Let's move on to our next patient, Suge Knight. Let's move on to Suge Knight. And he has a podcast from prison, Suge Knight podcast or whatever it is. And lately he's been mentioning a lot of people. So now, since the TLC anniversary for Fan Mail is coming up, I believe it's the 25th anniversary, Suge Knight's been talking a lot about Left Eye, T-Boz, and Chilli. So last week, he was in the news because he said this about Chilli.
The other two niggas of the group. I remember them being jealous of her. I remember Chilli mad because Lisa slept with Dallas Austin and they in the group together. But Lisa respond was, but you know, you got herpes, so I made sure you put on rubbers, so we all good. But nevertheless, she did some of the most incredible music that you can imagine.
Now, Suge Knight, just in case you didn't hear it, said Chilli's mad. I don't know where he got the Chilli's mad, and she was jealous of I guess he said that T-Boz and Chilli was jealous of Lisa. And he said that Chilli's mad because Left Eye slept with Dallas Austin and they were in a group together. And he said Left Eye's response was, so what, we effed, don't worry, you got herpes, so he put on a rubber, so we good. So the only thing wrong with that is, Mr. Knight, is that putting on a rubber does not prevent you from getting herpes. And if you didn't know that, you should have looked that up before you decided to come online and spur this BS that you're spurting. Here's a diagnosis for Suge Knight. Is what he's suffering from what we call attention discrepancy, where you're deprived of attention. He sees that people like Diddy and Jay-Z and Dr. Dre and all these other people are they're able to maintain and keep themselves afloat, at least Diddy was before the allegations, keep themselves afloat in today's world. Wherein Suge Knight, once Tupac passed, no one really gave a shit anymore. And he sees that. He sees that Tupac is still being talked about like as if he was alive. And nobody talks about Suge Knight anymore. He is separating from attention depression or attention deficiency. He is deprived of attention. So much he wants the attention so bad that he's not even researching his stuff before he decides to lie. Lisa Left Eye Lopez was never interested in Dallas Austin. That wasn't her style. She was not interested in guys like Dallas Austin. As a fact, matter of fact, Lisa at first thought Dallas Austin was a little, you know, shaky, a little shaky. So when Chilli explained to her that she was sleeping with Dallas, she was like, "Really? I thought that nigga was, GAY." But she was never attracted to Dallas Austin that way. So Suge Knight, the prognosis for him is, please, let's start playing some more death row music, some of the old classics. Maybe you can get some of the older guys, some of the older artists to maybe mention him every now and again, because nobody mentions him anymore. I don't know, maybe go bring back the old narrative of him being the one who set up Tupac. Get him back. Maybe he's jealous that people are accusing Diddy, and they're no longer. Remember, at first they were accusing Suge. He liked that. He liked that. He was still, he was still on people's mouths. He's still in people's tongues. You know. Now nobody gives a shit about Suge Knight. We wouldn't care if he lived or died. Let's just be honest. If Suge Knight, if we woke up tomorrow and Suge Knight was no longer with us, would anybody give a shit? His old girlfriends wouldn't care. He beat the shit out of them. His ex-wife wouldn't care. I don't know whether he got a current wife. I'm sure she don't care. None of the Tupac fans give a shit. No, none of the Dre fans, none of the Snoop Dogg fans. No one cares about Suge Knight. The only people who care about Suge Knight are the people who are clout chasing and don't like the people that Suge don't like. Those are the ones that care about Suge Knight. Like, if Suge Knight was released from jail, he might as well just die in prison. If Suge Knight was released from prison tomorrow, what good would he do? Society and the music business? None. So we gave you the diagnosis, here's the prognosis. Eventually, he'll just die in prison. That's the prognosis. He's not getting out of jail anytime soon. I believe Suge Knight, the prognosis for you is not good. Unless you repent, take back everything you said, and apologize for all the people that you've hurt. Right? All the women you've beat up. You're no better than Puff. You just never got exposed for those things. But you did the same thing Puff was doing, and worse. Allegedly, you was pumping dudes in the butt, dangling dudes out of windows, abusing women, R-ing women, essaying women. You were doing the same thing, so allegedly. You just hadn't got caught yet. You just got exposed for the more criminal side than the civil side. But you're no better than Puff. In fact, you're worse. You just haven't got caught. TLC fans, celebrate and debunk these lies that Suge Knight's telling on your girls, man. Should be a celebration of the greatest, most successful female singing group ever. And instead, we're talking about this. T-Boz, Chilli, if you're listening, if they're not, somebody send this to them. Y'all gonna have to start filing lawsuits against people that's playing on your name. Suge Knight's using Lisa Lopez's death as a prop. Because notice he didn't say anything about her when the rumor was that she went to Dr. Sebi for a cure. Those were the rumors. I can't confirm whether that's true or not. We'll never know, probably. Because Dr. Sebi's not here anymore either. But he's trying to use her death as some form of clout chase. Meanwhile, throwing dirt on the two that are still here. Unfortunately, Lisa's not here with us anymore. Rest in peace to the great Lisa Lopez. These two dudes have been operated on now. I've given you the diagnosis for Orlando Brown, the diagnosis for Suge Knight, and the prognosis. That's the only way to cure him. It's your boy, Dr. Industry. We'll see you next time. Stay healthy.